Welcome to Through the Bible. Let us continue with the stories of Moses and his people traveling through the wilderness. Battle with the Amalekites. Exodus chapter 17. At the place, Rephidim, where God had provided them with water from the rock, the Israelites had their first struggle against one of the heathen tribes that wandered through the desert. These people were called Amalekites, and they made an attack on the Israelite camp. Now the leader of the fighting men amongst the Israelites was Joshua. And Moses told him to choose a group of good warriors and go out to drive off the Amalekites. While the battle raged, Moses, Aaron, and Hur stood on the crown of a hill nearby and prayed for their men. While Moses' hands were held up in prayer, the Israelites drove back their enemies. But when his hands dropped, the Amalekites triumphed. Moses was an old man, and this was very tiring work. So Aaron and Hur found a stone for him to sit on, and then they came and stood, one on each side of him, to hold up his hands. So they stayed until the sun set, and Joshua and his men defeated the Amalekites altogether. After the victory, God instructed Moses to write down on a scroll as a permanent reminder and read it aloud to Joshua that God would erase the memory of Amalek from under heaven. Moses built an altar there and named it Yahweh Nissi, which means the Lord is my banner. He said that Amalek had raised their fist against God's throne. So now God will be at war with Amalek generation after generation. And the Israelites continued to camp at Rephidim.